Good evening. From Spartan Stadium, Jody Murray of FresnoB.com with Marek Warszawski, the B Sports columnist. After a 49-23 loss on the part of Fresno State against the San Jose State Spartans, a game in which the drama began well before the first kickoff, Marek.
It did, with Fresno State's quarterback situation kind of being in flux or cloaked in secrecy all week following Zach Greenlee's arrest last Sunday on drunken disorderly charges. Fresno State didn't really tell anybody if he was going to start, if he was going to play, and they really didn't say anything until issuing a vague statement about 20 minutes before kickoff. But you know what, Jody? I don't think it really mattered. Because do you know what Zach Greenlee, Ford Childress, and Kilton Anderson have in common?
What's that?
None of them play defense, Jody, and none of them can tackle Tyler Irvin, and nor could anybody else on the Fresno State roster today.
300 yards, a Spartan
school record, 42 yards. Now,
this
kind of, with both teams' quarterback situations kind of in flux going into the game, everyone kind of thought this was going to come down to a running game. Who could run the ball better between Tyler Irvin and Martez Waller?
Right.
Well, that question was answered loud and clear.
Yeah.
Pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the stats. Martez, 19 carries for 72 yards. Tyler, as we said, Tyler Irvin, 42 carries for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. 7.1 per carry. That really was a difference in the game.
Yeah.
Fresno started out with some really good field position thanks to some good long kickoff returns. Did nothing with the ball. San Jose was bringing an extra guy in the box, I think, to prevent the run. But they managed to get a lot of pressure on Ford Childress, too, at the same time. Also, you can look back at just the way Fresno State started this game. The great field position, and then some very interesting to say the least, maybe strange play calling on that first drive. Waller didn't touch the ball. It was sweep to the left, fly sweep to the right, horizontal pass.
Yeah.
It was kind of a disaster. From the very beginning, things were just not right with Fresno State.
And yet, late in the game, well, at least in the third quarter, thanks to a couple of gifts on San Jose State's part, they got themselves within 5 points.
They got the fumble, the punt that wasn't punted. The punter kind of bobbled the ball. Fresno State got great field position. They had already had a touchdown drive a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Then that one was converted to an amazing play by Jody Murray. Fresno State played called a trick play. Very unusual place for a trick play. It was a toss to Martez, and he kind of had a quick pitch back to Jameer Jordan. And he really should have been tackled at the 15. He should have been tackled at the 12.
He took a trick play and turned into a trickier play.
Yes, he channeled Barry Sanders and somehow got into the end zone, and that's it. Fresno did not score again after that last touchdown by Jordan with those 5:04 left in the third quarter. So they went, 19 minutes without scoring a point in this game, and it's just, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the end of it.
Some of the questions that were asked after the game had to do with how do you pull the team back together? Where do you go from here? You're going straight from here down to San Diego. It's going to be potentially tough. Even tougher game. So
it is. It's going to be tough. I think that the schedule makers didn't do Fresno State any favors by putting them on the road for these 2 first games. Kind of makes them having to win one for sure, or they're out of the race. And now you got a young team with some questions, and the confidence is probably an issue. And they just got bulldozed here at San Jose State, and now they have to go down next week to San Diego. San Diego has not been good this year. They've been even as disappointing as Fresno State. They were the preseason pick in the division, but it's really hard to envision, Fresno State pulling it all together and, going down there to San Diego and making some great effort. I know that's what everyone's going to talk about this week. But for a young team that got waxed like this by a rival, I think that's kind of a tall order, I'm not saying Fresno State's not going to win next week. They have no chance. But looking at it, what we saw tonight, I think it's a long shot. This is supposed to be the first game that Fresno State played a team at its level. After the FCS, Abilene Christian, and Utah, which just bulldoze your Ducks today. This was supposed to be the first game at Fresno State's level, but you look at the scoreboard, you look at the stat sheet, and that was a giant overstatement.
Yes.
To put it mildly. So.
Well, Marek, thanks a lot for your time. That's it from San Jose. Jody Murray signing off. Have a good evening.